silence and blows the whistle to reveal Obama's real identity. Donald Trump's presidency so far has shone a light on the White House's war with the deep state. One former member of the intelligence community has spilled the beans about the Obama administration's cooperation with the deep state. Former CIA analyst, and retired U.S. Army Reserve Lieutenant Colonel, Tony Shaffer, told Fox News back in February that the Obama administration was behind the public leaks of Lieutenant General Mike Flynn's phone calls with Russian officials. According to Mr. Shaffer, the blame belongs at the feet of John Brennan and James Clapper. These two former CIA chiefs have long been suspected of running counterintelligence operations against the Trump administration. Although Brennan publicly spoke out against the empire of leaks that have been damaging the Trump administration, many in the alternative media suspect that he is one of the ringleaders of the Obama-era holdovers who has undermined President Trump. In particular, one conservative news outlet accused Brennan of collaborating with British and Estonian intelligence agents in order to smear Donald Trump as a quasi-Russian agent. Brennan, who supported the American Communist Party during the Cold War, also has some surprising links to radical Islam. One former CIA agent who served with Brennan in Saudi Arabia accused him of converting to Islam. Is it widely known that there is a top intelligence official in the Obama administration's CIA who has converted to Islam? Yes. It was reported in none other than the Huffington Post in 2012. Why couldn't it be Brennan? The movie Zero Dark 30 about the killing of Osama bin Laden, for which the movie makers gained access to classified material, the Obama administration was criticized for making it available to them, featured a top counter-terror official who strongly resembled Brennan and was shown performing Muslim prayers. As for Clapper, he has tried to defend the leaking of unclassified documents by declaring that unclassified is not leaking. Clapper also told Congress that he had seen Flynn and other Trump administration communications before they were leaked to the press. There is a possibility that both Clapper and Brennan were connected to Susan Rice, the former national security advisor to President Obama, who is suspected of using her security clearance to spy on President-elect Donald Trump and his inner circle. Obama administration officials have been implicated in leaking and undermining the Trump administration. Do you think Brennan and Clapper were involved? Not surprisingly, National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster, who himself has been accused of being a globalist mole within the Trump White House, was the man responsible for letting Rice keep her security clearance, thereby clearing her of most espionage charges. Lieutenant Col. Shaffer is definitely correct that Lieutenant General Flynn was set up and burned in effigy by the mainstream press and the deep state. When the media got Flynn's scalp, it set up a bad precedent. Since then, many of President Trump's leading MAGA officials have left Washington, D.C. The leaking war against General Flynn directly led to the resignation of Steve Bannon and Dr. Sebastian Gorka. This is why President Trump should stop internal leaking from the deep state right now. Breaking: Trey Gowdy gives corrupt FBI agents bad news. Representative Trey Gowdy, RSC, is known for his no-nonsense attitude and his desire to reach the truth, no matter what it takes. Gowdy's recent pursuit into the depths of conflict for the truth is making members of the FBI and Justice Department very uncomfortable. The House Intelligence Committee has subpoenaed both the FBI and the Justice Department for the documents that may be related to the infamous Trump dossier, according to the Washington Examiner. The deadline of September 1 has come and gone, and neither group has complied. Their deadline has been extended by the committee to September 14. Gowdy warned them that no one will forget this happened, and the truth will come out. The most recent subpoenas were directed specifically at FBI Director Christopher Wray as well as Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Besides providing the information about the dossier, they also must explain why they failed to provide the information the first time around. Gowdy expressed his irritation at not yet receiving the requested information. "We got nothing," he stated. "The witnesses have not been produced, and the documents have not been produced." There was a conversation over the phone between Gowdy and the FBI, who explained that they need more time to comply. They also warned that their compliance might interfere with the special counsel, led by Robert Mueller. The goal of the subpoena is to figure out just how much the FBI and the Justice Department were involved in the fabrication of the bogus Trump dossier. There is more to it than that, however. Gowdy is seeking to discover whether or not unverified information was presented to the courts from the dossier in an attempt to put surveillance on Trump, or anyone else involved in the Russia investigation. This is particularly troublesome if it occurred and the information was provided by people who were paid, in effect, to create trouble for the president. I want to know the extent to which it was relied upon, if at all, by any of our intelligence agencies or federal law enforcement agencies, Gowdy stated, and to the extent it was relied upon, how did they vet, or either corroborate or contradict, the information in it? To simplify for the FBI and the Justice Department, Gowdy said that they don't even have to use the word dossier. He urged them to then substitute the word dossier with the origin of the Russia investigation. It should not change the information that they submit, where they obtained it, and any documents tied to the information. The baseline of information should be virtually identical. As Gowdy noted, it is ironic that a GOP-led Congress is having issues getting information from the Department of Justice, which is led by Jeff Sessions. There should be a desire to share information, not an effort to conceal. Regardless of how the FBI and the DOJ handle the situation, Gowdy is not going to let them off the hook. The truth will come out by hook or by and George Soros just received horrific news. George Soros is a liberal, elitist billionaire who has never made his agenda a secret, not quite, anyway. The organizations he funds show exactly what he wants for the United States. Now he has received some news that is going to shake him to his core. A recent petition has made its rounds, and now it is well over its 100,000 signature mark. The purpose of this petition is to unmask George Soros once and for all. Per the website, their goal is for the White House to declare George Soros a terrorist and seize all of his related organizations' assets under RICO and NDA law. The petition was created by a user who is simply going by EB, and was created on August 20, 2017. The initial date for 100,000 signatures was set for September 19, a little less than a month after its creation. As of September 8, there are currently more than 143,000 signatures and counting. People are becoming wise to the terror that Soros has managed to inject into our republic, and they demand answers and consequences. According to the petition, George Soros has been working feverishly with his nearly unlimited money supply to destabilize the United States. They claim that Soros has created and funded dozens, and probably hundreds, of discrete organizations whose sole purpose is to apply Alinsky model terrorist tactics to facilitate the collapse of the systems and constitutional government. Now that the petition has reached the set number of signatures needed, the White House is obligated to respond. It is unknown what exactly President Trump will say about Soros, but surely he will be blunt in his statement. This is just one of multiple petitions to reach the required signature count that has something to do with billionaire Soros in one way or another. The second most relevant petition deals with the homegrown terrorist group Antifa. The second petition calls that the White House formally recognizes Antifa as a terrorist organization, which is something that most average Americans have figured out. At the time of this writing, the second petition has received more than 348,000 signatures, much higher than the required 100,000. Soros is no doubt a threat to the freedom of the United States. As the Daily Caller reports, Soros has backed numerous self-proclaimed anti-fascist groups. The same groups that show up to protests dressed in black and willing to beat down Trump supporters, or anyone who doesn't agree with them for that matter. The behavior of the anti-fascists is more in line with most fascists. They believe that physically overwhelming people is the only way to get their point across. The age of the intelligent debate is long gone in their eyes. Coincidentally, George Soros donated millions of dollars to Hillary Clinton during her run for president, according to Washington Examiner. This sentiment alone has a lot of people uneasy and demanding answers. Why would Soros fund numerous groups that attack innocent people for simply not embracing liberal ideology? Supporting an anti-American violent hate group can only mean one thing: source wants to see harm come to America. Now, the White House has the petitions in hand that they need to call Soros and Antifa out for what they have proven themselves to be: domestic terrorists.